3, 2, 1, go!
Bingo! Felons Ain't Failures Podcast. We are back in the building. It's your boy, Coach Chuck, the podcast pastor.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy, Big Bro Los. And look, last time y'all saw him, he was a guest. Now he is official. I got my big cuz next to me, Big Coop. What's up, Big Coop?
What's up? What's up? Listen, this is Big Coop in the house. What's good with everybody? Listen, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to be here. And I'm so excited to be part of this movement.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Y'all already know it's your boy D Moss, C Moss, better known as Coach Murph, back in the building for another powerful podcast. Baby, let's get started.
I got a couple hand claps. We working on it, y'all. Listen, I know we're recording. It's so many cameras. When I look up, I'm trying to figure out which one I'm supposed to look at.
Like it's a
So am I the first one?
like it's a press conference.
And
bro.
Carlos the second one? Coop the third one? Smurf the fourth one? Okay. I looked up, I was like, well, I don't know who camera I'm looking at.
Look up.
But what's happening? We got a good one today, but Big
Gotta
Bro
go.
Los, he gonna take this one off.
What's going on, everybody? Listen, first of all, appreciate everybody coming in. Thank y'all for subscribing and looking and listening.
Yes, up to 300.
We got a topic we gonna talk about today. Oh, that's right. Yo, shout out to 300 plus subscribers.
Yes.
We got a topic we gonna talk about today, man. It's so broad.
Yeah.
It's so broad. And as I was going over this morning, I'm like, man, we could probably talk about this for weeks, you know, because it just goes so many different. It takes so many angles and curves. But it's family matters.
All right.
You know, family matters.
Steve Urkel?
The TV
Not
show?
quite.
Uncle Carl?
This is a little more stronger than Steve Urkel, man. I
Okay.
mean, because when I first thought of it, it was about how important family is. You
That's
know,
right.
Yes,
To
yes.
all of us.
Yes,
To
yes, yes.
everybody out there, to all the listeners and everybody out there watching, how important family matters are. So I want to talk about a few things, but real quick, when I was looking at some of my notes this morning, as I was writing down a lot of things, I saw how I was touching bases on what keeps us together, what tears us apart, why family is so important. And then I thought about our family, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know my brother. Same mama, same daddy.
Shout out to Honeycomb.
You know, how we was raised, you know, and our house wasn't perfect,
Yeah.
you know, but we were brought up around some people who had a dysfunctional household and everything. So I understand that some of the stuff that, at least what I'm gonna talk about today, how positive things are with our family and with family in general. I understand that there are people out there who didn't have it, you know, whose
Yes.
family was torn apart for whatever reasons, and we might get into that later or another episode, you know. But I want to talk about how important when to me how family provides a foundation, you know, of excuse me, how you being raised, you know,
Mhm.
how you being shaped.
Mhm.
You know, then I looked up foundation.
Okay.
And foundation is the lowest load-bearing part of a building. Now, you know, we can use foundation for a metaphor for a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
But load-bearing,
Load bearing.
you know. So, like,
Yes.
imagine the Empire State Building. You
Yes.
know, do you know how strong its foundation had to be
Yes.
for it to stand as long as it stood?
Yes.
You know, we know why it went down, you know, but
That's
just
World
any
Trade
type of
Center.
building that's so large like that, you know, to have that type of foundation. So with family, it is very important that your foundation is strong,
Yes.
you know, because it's gonna have to carry a heavy load.
Yes.
It's gonna have to carry a heavy load.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, Big Coop?
Yes.
What you think about that?
Well, listen, when I think of family, I think of fabric.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Fabric. Yeah. So fabric is, and think about a very strong fabric. Think about a fabric that holds together. Right?
Right. Yes, sir.
When I think family, I think that what holds together the culture. And I'm going specifically to Black families because of who I am,
Right.
who we are.
Yeah.
Right. So when I think family, I'm thinking, to your point, foundation, fabric.
Okay.
Fabric. And that fabric is something that can't be torn. Very strong fabric. Great families, great neighborhoods, great culture, great schools, great children, you know. So when I think family, and we're going to get into it even more, but just on a general sense, I'm thinking of fabric.
You know, so go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Just talk about what Big Unc was saying as far as the fabric. I know growing up, you should tell people I was cut from a different cloth.
Right.
And as a
And,
kid,
and most cats who say that, they snitching in the streets.
tell
Anyway.
him,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
But as a kid, I guess growing up in the two households that I grew up in, you all know my family upbringing. Like we all know each other's family upbringing.
That's right.
I didn't understand looking at some of my friends' households of like, I don't understand how y'all act like this towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't grasp because I guess the way I was raised, all I knew was my dynamic.
Yeah.
So it's like you say, bro, family definitely does matter because I've seen so many different situations where like I say me and my family don't act like that with each other.
Yeah.
Or we don't. It's just a big difference.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Coach Smurf. You know, because you would want family, you know, your household and your family environment, you know, mama, daddy, sister, brothers, aunt, uncles, cousins, you know, you would want it to be like a sense of belonging.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
you want to belong in your family, you know, and your family environment should be like a safe space
Safe
to
haven.
navigate, you know, life's challenges.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's
I mean,
right.
like, if you can't go to family, you know, that's hard. And I know people like that. I've seen families like that, you know, but we are same mama, same daddy. Me and little bro was so
Shout out to Honeycomb.
blessed to
Big Charles.
have our mom and our dad in the same house. You know, that was huge
And
at that time. And our house where we lived at on 26th Avenue and 18th Street, it was on the way to where all the neighborhood kids played at. Shout out to St. Joseph.
St. Joseph's. Home
You know,
football
so
field,
we used to
same
call
lot.
our house the Honeycomb Hideout. You know, because on your way there, you either stop by the house or you holler, "Lowe's, I'm
Yep.
coming out the back gate" or whatever, you know. So
bologna sandwiches.
I'm so thankful for my mother and my
Bologna
father,
sandwiches.
Big Charles Price, who is no longer here with us.
Big Charles.
Passed away in 01. Love
Senior.
you, Pops. Think about you every day. Thank you for making me the man, and me and brother the man that we are today.
Yes.
But they established a foundation in that house right there on 26, that little house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things I learned about coming up, what I saw today with my family is when we struggle, you know, when the family struggles, whatever struggle we had, bro, coming up on at the house, we didn't know it. You know, like, because our parents was good enough to keep that part away from the children.
They shielded.
You know,
They shielded that from
I
us.
don't know how many times my mama sat at the table with trying to add up the bills, you know, and trying to get the groceries right. You know, we ate. I mean, we weren't poor. I mean, I ain't finna eat going that route, you know, but I understand that there was a lot of things that went on in that house that we never knew about because they made sure that the kids didn't have to worry about that because we were kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And not just the house struggles, but the struggles that they may have had as individuals,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because my pop struggled with a few.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
he
Of
struggled with
course.
a few.
And
you
back
know.
to your point about two-parent homes. Two-parent homes statistically equal success, basically. And I'm going to give you a stat. During slavery,
Hey, that's my category, bro. But come on, understand.
during slavery, well,
I ain't got nothing.
Big
today,
Bro
but-
Lowe's going to give you a stat. I'm going to say it for him.
You don't have one.
He ain't gonna have
During
one for you.
slavery, 80% of the families, two-parent homes. During slavery, 80% of the families, two-parent homes. Want to know how we survived that? Two-parent homes, family.
Mm.
One for family, we couldn't survive that. So back to your point. And when we grew up, our neighborhood, about 90% of the families had two-parent homes.
Yeah.
About 90%. Just on my street, on 17th Street, only person that didn't have a two-family home was my neighbor because his mom was killed.
I want to go ahead, because I
No,
want to cut you off.
so to your point, that two-parent home was the fabric of the community. Not only did they shield us from the ills of what was going on, but they also helped raise the other kids in the neighborhood.
Right. And I want to say something real quick too, because I see the podcast pastor got his notes now. He read it now.
He
No,
gonna
I
come
ain't.
with.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
well,
Y'all
okay.
go. I'm listening. I'm
The
learning.
reason, and I'm talking to everybody out there, the reason why I want to bring this up, because a lot of times as individuals, when you're going through your struggle or when you're suffering from whatever it is you're suffering from, I want to establish the power of family.
Mhm.
You know, but if you don't have that power in your family, if you separated from your family, what are you gonna do? What are you? I mean, I ain't got that kind of family background.
so
What do I need to do? You know,
Yeah.
I've just got into a situation, you know, that was going on within my family, you know, that I had to be bigger.
Yeah.
You know, I had to be the one.
Mhm.
You know, when I didn't want to be.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be. I wanted to be, okay, pretty much my way or the highway. I didn't want to, you know, but I had to understand what was going on. I had to understand what was important. And I understand the relationship in the family, that this family has to stay strong.
Yeah.
We can't be divided.
Yeah.
You know, we can't not be on the same page. So I'm going to have this conversation. I'm going to be like, hey, we're going to have some disagreements. Whatever happened in the past, you know, understand the power of family,
Mhm.
you know, and work on the rebuilding of it. You know what I'm saying?
And the role that emotional intelligence play in that.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yes,
Because
sir.
that's what I just heard you say. You had to make a choice, because we just talked about this.
Yeah.
You had to make a choice to be you said the one,
Yeah.
to be the emotionally intelligent one.
I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I didn't want to do it, bro.
So y'all go back and watch that episode.
I didn't wanna do it.
Mastery.
Very
of
good.
your
And I
emotions.
say
Yeah.
I don't want to do it because I know a lot of people out there don't want to. I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
I don't want to. But do it.
Yeah.
Be the one.
Be the
do
one.
It. Do it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is definitely kind of like a topic that y'all two elder brothers kind of spearhead, because I come in on a different, like me and my brother, we come out the same household, same mama, same daddy. Shout out to Honeycomb. But
Big Charles.
when I got old enough to really understand what was going on, I caught dad transitioning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where he wasn't defeated, but where he was in a hard fight with some of the stuff that
He struggled with something.
he struggled with some stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even like I represent that generation to follow, like this, because I remember hearing you talk about some stuff, and there are some things you said about how dad was and all that.
I never thought about that, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
I never
And
thought about it till you just said
I
that.
never got to see that.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
it's a lot of
So, but I'm gonna tell you, like, you know, they don't know, like, you have always been my hero. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show the importance of the elder, and then maybe they'll begin to understand why you are honored as the elder, even though I started this and it's based on my life, that you are the elder of this podcast.
Right.
Like we talked about, you the face
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then Coop came along. He's an elder in it. You know what I'm saying? You guys sitting in the middle. There's no reason that it's a reason we set up like this.
Way, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But as an
Respect.
elder
Respect.
brother, it was very important that you were who you were to me, because you were that part of dad you saw. You know what I'm saying? And the only way I was going to ever
Fabric.
get that imparted in my life was
Through
through
him.
you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the point when I was old enough to receive any type of impartation, dad wasn't able to give me what he gave you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as an older brother, and that's no different why even from biblical times or any other culture, that the eldest always carries the responsibility of the father when the father leaves.
Yes.
Dad wasn't dead, but the dad he was to you had died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were responsible to carry that big charge on.
Yeah.
And I know that man through you.
Yes.
I never
yes,
seen
yes.
that in him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. You
So
about to break
even
down.
as
You breaking down. My man, breaking down.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
even the elders, now we talking about family.
Yeah.
So now we start breaking down individual pieces.
Yeah.
The elder brother, you have to take a different responsibility. You got a younger brother
Yes,
that
sir.
you share with your daddy.
Yeah.
You got to take I don't have a younger brother.
Yeah.
You have to take a different responsibility,
Yeah.
even with your brother, because there's a side of Jake, shout out to Jake, R.I.P.,
Jake.
that you know that he don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The good side, that part that taught you how to be the man that you are, you got to get that to your brother, because he
Absolutely.
don't know it.
Absolutely.
Because what we have to understand, we talk about fathers and dads, especially as men, because we talk about black men,
Yeah.
we talk about felon men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
our identity of who we are
That's right.
is in our daddy.
Absolutely.
The man that I am.
Yeah.
The reason I act the way I act
Yeah.
is because of who my father was and who
Absolutely.
he and how he acted.
Yes.
As generous and as kind as me and my brother are,
Yeah.
that my dad would give a man the shirt off his
I
back.
saw it.
He'll give you last
was
drink
there.
out his pint bottle of vodka.
I was there.
You know what
I
I'm
saw
saying?
it.
But so I'm saying, when we talk about family now, we get into a real dynamic. We're gonna
Absolutely.
move somewhere now.
Yeah.
Like our identity is in our Father, and that's why that plight, that system, that scheme that has been perpetuated.
Yep.
If I'm using the right word,
You're
you know, I
right.
be
Yeah,
throwing some
yes,
words out
yes,
there.
Yes.
Has prospered,
Yep.
and their goal was let's move the black man out.
Let's
And
rip
it
the
wasn't
fabric.
so much that because if we move the man out, the family becomes weak. But the boys will never find out who they are.
That's
If
right.
it wasn't for my brother, if I'd have lived, my brother would have been, just say if he didn't exist. When I got old enough to understand who my dad was, I wouldn't be the man that I am today
Yeah.
because I saw my dad that was losing a battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, God
I saw a
bless.
man that
God
didn't
bless
have the fire that Carlos saw.
Yeah.
I mean, but he was a man that kept going and took care of his family.
Yeah.
But what Carlos saw, I didn't see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's important as elder
Really.
brothers that you got to take that responsibility
Yes.
that I have to teach my younger brother.
Yeah.
I have to be that, you know what I'm saying? Because my younger brother, because our identities are found in our fathers.
That's right.
And so when a father is missing, it ain't just about teaching me how to be a man. It's about showing me who I am and who I'm supposed to be.
That's right. Because
You know
of
what
who
I'm
he
saying?
was.
Yeah. So,
So
go ahead.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
So families. I'm sorry, Coach Murph.
You good.
I have to
ahead.
say this. So families are the representation of God's hierarchy. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Am I interpreting
That's
that
what
right?
it is.
Okay. So
That's what
family
it
is the
is.
interpretation or the representation of God's hierarchy,
Mm-hmm.
and we emulate that here. And if the fabric is torn, or if you take a piece out, then the structure of success might be broken, except for the oldest brother who gets that blessing, right? It's sweet biblical,
Yeah.
who got that blessing from the father, and he inherited the father's traits
Correct.
and gave it to.
Pass it on to
Yeah.
the family. He was responsible to
brother.
carry it. Yeah.
I'm a middle brother. So my older brother
Philip.
Philip,
Shout out to Philip.
Shout out to Philip.
Yes, sir.
I
Love
tried
you,
to
cuz.
emulate him. I tried to play basketball like him, and then I got wide. So I had to go on 3.
We're gonna put that white shirt on so they'll really see.
Yeah. But then I had a responsibility to my younger brother, Brian.
Yeah.
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 You know,
Look cool.
I had a responsibility
Yeah.
to him
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
sure that he,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
But why are we doing that? To make our dad proud,
That's right.
right? And what do I do to this day? Because my pops passed. Shout out to Steve Cooper Jr.
Shout
Yes, sir.
out.
Shout out.
Sir.
in '99.
Great musician.
In
Cooper.
'99,
That's
yes.
right.
In '99, and I still to this day try to make him proud.
That's right.
To this day.
He still lives on.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And then
right. That's powerful.
as the younger brother, like those of us who are the younger brother, like I was, first of all, my brother was always my hero to the point that I had a shirt that said Lil Los. I went by that name, Lil Los. But the younger brothers, we have to make sure that we're paying the correct respect and homage
Yeah.
to our elder brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There was I remember and as a black community,
Yeah.
a lot of times we don't really understand. I remember a time when I was young and I was preaching in Mount Zion. I know you remember this. And I stood up, but before I preached, I talked about how my father had passed away, and I recognized how my brother was in the position of my daddy in my life.
Beautiful.
I said it.
Beautiful.
Remember, I said
beautiful.
that. There were
Beautiful.
black people in that church who came up to me and told me I shouldn't have said that. They act like they took it as I was saying my daddy wasn't nothing and Carlos been my daddy.
Yeah.
That was not what I was saying. But what I'm saying is there's a disconnect from even the functionality of the family, because now
Yeah.
that's what we kind of talk about.
Yeah.
And I think as our culture, we have to not reestablish, but we have to relearn
Recalibrate.
the order
Yeah.
and the functionality
Yep.
of the order.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think what we know where there's order, there's oil.
Yeah.
So when things are in line, in sync, things can flow.
Yes.
Like a motor. If one of the gears
Right, yeah.
slide out too far,
Yeah.
it's gonna throw it out. But if
Oil
everything is
machine.
in line,
Exactly.
it starts flowing. And I think as a culture, if we forget the Gucci, all that, if we realign as a family structure and order and functionality, I think we'll immediately begin to see a change. The blackout we did was great. But the blackout doesn't mean anything if, as
It
a
is not
black
followed
family,
by- yeah.
we are out of order
Yeah.
and we're not functioning
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't say this because that's my brother, but my brother, he functioned properly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
When my
was
daddy
there.
wasn't able to do it, my brother fathered me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fathered me. I remember one time my mama was mad and crying. My brother came in the room because I'm ripping around the streets, and he said, "Bro, if you hurt mama like that again, I'm going to stop effing with you.
Yeah.
It was hard, but I love that dude. I respected that dude, and it made me tighten up. It didn't pull me out the streets, but it made me tighten up of the stuff that I brought her way.
Made you pause
know
and
what I'm saying?
consider.
And I think about it, that's what a daddy do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when my kids, when they used to upset their mama, I used to say, they always call me when the kids acting crazy, but that's what they supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
My mama ain't tell my brother. My brother saw my mama crying, and he did what he was supposed to do, what a father is supposed to do. So
It hurt me to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
couldn't
because
tell.
that's my little brother. I mean, you know, because I didn't want to be mean to my little brother, but at the same time, which I didn't know this part right. I didn't know this. I didn't know that then. What I know now, but I was really just trying to tell him how to be right. You know what I'm saying? But we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not how I was coming up. I was mad because mama was crying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
The gist of it all was like, bro, we have to be better than that. You know
And
what
we
I'm
all
saying?
were.
What I'm saying?
We all trying to tell the child.
Yeah.
And my little brother, I've always given you advice.
Yes, sir.
When you would
Yes,
see
sir.
me and whatever, and make sure, hey, little bro, you good.
All
this,
my
that, and the other.
friends did.
We all did. We
Yep.
all did. And then when you saw my little brother,
Yep.
whatever. But when you saw my nephew, Aaron,
Yeah.
So I mean, who was like a little brother also. He grew up
Correct.
in the same house
Correct.
with us. So I actually got two little brothers.
Yeah.
We talking
Yes, sir.
family, y'all. We talking family.
We're talking the order and the functionality.
order and the
I love that.
Make sure we
functionality.
add
of
that to that.
The
Family
order and the
matters,
functionality
the
of
order and
family.
functionality of the black family.
Black
Yeah.
families.
We got to put that in there.
What I
Black
wanna
brown
speak
family, because
on
you brown over there.
before we get too far into it,
Go ahead.
because we speaking on the
Boy,
family
boy.
dynamic, and everybody here was raised in a 2-parent household. And most people will say, unfortunately, I wasn't, but I'm not going to say unfortunately because at the end of the day, I still had a strong
Man, you had
structure
the
background with both of
strongest
my
family
families.
It
in
don't
the-
mean you
They-
can't succeed.
that's what I want
'Cause
to
you
push. That's
weren't.
what I want to push out there.
Right.
Just
Exactly.
because you didn't have a 2-parent household,
Yeah.
as long as you still had two
The order
parents in the order of
And
where it
and
was supposed to be
functionality.
ran.
If you
feel
still
that
got
order.
that, yeah.
Somebody
So,
filled that order,
yeah.
that template.
Because as far
Absolutely.
as my dad, my father, I could have asked for a better man to show me anything in life than the man that raised me.
Yeah.
Not to put y'all in my personal business as what, but I was basically, as a child, raised by my dad because my mother found that she didn't have anything else left for her in the city of St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
And my dad understood that and told her, you know what, you go and blossom, but my son stays with me.
Yeah.
And
Shout out.
we don't have
Yes,
too
sir.
many black men that fight for that.
Yeah.
Like, my daddy literally told her,
We actually do. It's just that a lot of times the court system will
try to take it
that
away.
fight away. Yeah.
But he literally told her, I respect everything that you're trying to do for yourself, but as far as my son, as far as our child,
Yeah.
I got him.
Yeah.
And from that point, I seen what a man was supposed to do. And I'm
That's
not
beautiful.
saying all pros, I see cons.
Yeah. Of course.
But with those cons I seen, I learned not to do some of those things. Or when I did do them, I knew how to get out of it because I see how my father moved, or my uncles, which I
Yeah.
call my big bros and
Yeah.
unks.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we have a big family
You got
down
a
there.
huge
I don't think
family.
y'all realize how
Shout out to
serious
the Shermans.
this family is.
Yeah.
Tied in.
Yeah.
It ain't like we just talking, like we're really
we linked.
Really
family.
Yeah.
We
And,
linked.
and our families are
Our
linked.
family,
Like,
yeah.
our parents and
Like,
grandparents
my-
are
my
linked.
my mother is best friends with either one of his sisters
Yeah.
or their sister. My
Yeah.
aunts are best friends with so it ain't
Yeah.
even best friends, they're sisters.
Yeah.
And let me say
So-
something because I know. Listen, what y'all see right here is 4 black men. Our super producer Lopez, he's Latino. You know,
I thought you was
but
finna say
we all
Mexican.
Latino.
no.
Black Latino.
So we
Boricua.
you gonna hear a lot of black and brown because that's
how
what we
we
are.
know.
That's what we are.
You know,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we're not dismissing anybody
Any
else
other
or
culture,
any
but
other
that's what
cultures
we
or
know.
ethnics out there, you know, but you're gonna hear a lot about the black and the
Well,
brown. But I wanna say to the
Anybody.
Caucasian people and everybody else that's out there listening and watching us, because we love all our supporters. You know,
Yeah.
we appreciate all the other different
the
people
template
of
is the
color
template.
who watches us. But listen, you can learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can learn something from what we're telling you
The template is
because
the template.
you may go what you see on TV and that kind of stuff. That
It ain't real.
This
Fiction.
ain't TV.
Yeah.
This is real, which will help you to adjust and answer some of the questions and maybe change your negative mindset on certain things and be like, okay, you know,
Maybe I can't deal with
now
that with my
I-
family.
now,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Can I give a stat?
Yeah, yes, sir, you can.
Yes, you can.
Another
Because Carlos ain't got none.
So Coach
Slipping.
Coach
I
Smurf
know.
just said that he was raised by his dad. And God bless his mom. She went and did
Yeah.
her own thing,
And
right?
she still,
It was a
of
mutual
course,
agreement.
strong
Yeah,
black
absolutely.
woman. I ain't taking
Absolutely.
that
So
from
shout
you.
out to mom.
You
Here's
hear
a
me?
stat right here.
Definitely. Love you, boo.
They did a
if you
study.
listening. But when you hear it,
Young boys who are raised by a two-parent home and young boys raised by just their fathers have the same level of success.
success.
Now, shout out to single mothers because y'all done
Yeah,
a lot.
done a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about what the stats say of young boys raised by a single father
Mm-hmm.
and young boys raised by two parents have the same level of success when you show their trajectory throughout their lives.
Have that same structure.
You know,
it all points to identity being given and passed on.
right.
Yeah.
And,
so
and
it
bro,
bodes a lot.
who
What
was a
that?
felon,
He ain't get it
What was
out.
that word
He
you
ain't
said?
get it out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Bows.
Bows.
you know,
Bodes.
bro, you was the felon.
Yes, sir.
You know, and we always continuously talking to the felons, and to the, me definitely to the supporters of the felons, because I always supported my brother when he was locked up. I ain't turned my back on him.
Right.
I wasn't mad at him.
Wrote me.
I wasn't upset with him. He made mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made mistakes.
You just didn't get caught with your
I
ass.
didn't get
just
caught,
didn't
and
get
they
caught.
wasn't enough to put me there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying this to say to the people out there, to the people listening, to the supporters of the felons, family.
Mhm.
Y'all are their family.
Yes.
And whether they locked up right now, you got to be there for them and support them and find a way to connect with them. If they out, you got to stay with them and stay on them and keep them close to you. Provide them with the information and the avenues that they need to help them stay on the right path to not be a part of recidivism.
That's
You know
right.
what? We
You know what I'm
just,
saying? Family.
Family.
It never ceases. It never stops. So don't stop being a brother. Don't stop being a mother. Don't stop being a father. Don't stop being a child.
3, 2, 1, go!